Hello, and welcome to
Wednesday's Night Out.
with your host, Joseph, Turnpike Plaza 365 Rec Squad. We will be reading from Becoming a Person of Influence: How to Positively Impact the Lives of Others. John C. Maxwell, Jim Dornan. 6. A person of influence enlarges people. Diagram is a diagram of steps. From bottom to top reads model. Next step is motivate. And now we're on to mentor, being the third step. And to the right of it is enlarge. And fourth step, multiply. Once you have been a model of integrity with others and successfully motivated them, you're ready to take the next step in the process of becoming a person of influence in their lives. Jim has a story that will give you an idea of what that next step looks like. Over the years, Eric has been through more than 30 individual brain operations, but that has never stopped him from being mentally sharp and full of optimism. And his great sense of humor keeps all of us entertained. During one of his many surgeries, Eric experienced an intraoperative stroke. The resulting loss of muscle balance has limited the use of his right hand and given him severe curvature of the spine. After a couple of years that required another surgery in which the doctors performed spinal fusion and implanted steel rods from the base of his neck to his pelvis. He spent 3 months in a full body cast during his long recovery, and as a result, many of his previous abilities were reduced dramatically, but Eric came through it all with characteristically positive spirits. After Eric's spinal surgery, Nancy could no longer handle him alone. So we decided it was time to employ a full-time home attendant to lift him, help with his daily life, and assist him with his ongoing rehabilitation. We knew the type of person we wanted to hire, but we had no idea where or how to locate him. One day, while Nancy was talking to one of our medical contacts, she heard about a person named Fernando. He sounded great. He's the perfect person, our friend had said, but you'll never get him. Nancy's response was, just give us his number and let us worry about whether or not we can get him. A few weeks later, we hired him, and he has been wonderful. Fernando had been a life skills trainer for Sharp Hospital, and though he was only 5 years older than Eric, he had already been a manager of a group home for abused kids and had worked in the field of rehab for 7 years. He and Eric bonded immediately. Fernando provided a perfect combination of professional skills and companionship. It's difficult to describe what a wonderful gift God has provided to Eric and our family in the person of Fernando. He sees his mission as that of enlarging Eric to keep him growing toward his full potential. Fernando constantly learns new information and techniques in his field, and he seeks ways to expose Eric to new experiences and to challenge him to grow. As a result, Eric's life hasn't been the same. In the time that the two of them have been doing things together, Eric has done a lot more than go skiing every year. He has learned to jet ski. I never could have visualized Eric going 40 miles per hour on the water, but Fernando believed Eric could do it, and so he did it. Eric also volunteers as a tutor with second graders, students German, studies German, works in our office 2 days a week, swims a couple of days a week, and has begun to work out with weights. It's hard for us to remember that Eric is severely limited physically because his life is full, challenging, and expanding every day. One of Eric's greatest experiences since teaming with Fernando has been his involvement in power soccer. It's a new sport played by people using power wheelchairs. They meet in gymnasiums where they compete as teams and score goals using a large ball. Eric loves it and usually prefers to play goalie. Not long ago, Fernando took Eric to Vancouver, Canada, to compete in a power soccer tournament. It was quite an experience for Eric. They flew together, rented a car, got their hotel room, and got around town, just the two of them. Eric loved it, especially competing in the 5-day tournament where he scored 2 goals. And best of all, his team won the gold medal. We had never seen Eric so excited as he was when he returned from the tournament. He wore his gold medal home on the plane, and I don't think he touched the ground for days. Since then, his confidence has been so strong that he's willing to tackle just about any kind of challenge. And for that, Fernando deserves a lot of the credit. Without his belief in Eric and his desire to expand his world, none of this would ever have happened. To become a person of influence and to make a positive impact on people, you have to come alongside them and really get involved in their lives. That's what Fernando did and continues to do with Jim's son, Eric. And that's what you need to do with the people for whom you want to make a difference. Modeling a life of integrity is an important first step in becoming an influencer because it creates a strong foundation with others. And the next natural step is motivating people. As you nurture people, show your faith in them. Listen to their hopes and fears and demonstrate your understanding of them. You build a strong relational connection and give them incentive to succeed and to be influenced by you. But if you want people to be able to really grow, improve, and succeed, you have to take the next step with them. You have to become a mentor to them. The meaning of mentoring: giving people the motivation to grow without also providing them the means of doing it is a tragedy. But the mentoring process offers people the opportunity to turn their potential into reality, their dreams into destiny. Mentors impact in eternity because there is no telling where their influence will stop. 19th century British statesman William Gladstone asserted, "He is a wise man who wastes no energy on pursuits for which he is not fitted, and he is wiser still who from among the things he can do well chooses and resolutely follows the best." Most people don't have a natural knack for spotting their greatest areas of potential. They need help doing it, especially as they begin growing and striving to reach their potential. And that's why it's important for you to become a mentor in the lives of the people you desire to help. You need to lead them in their areas of personal and professional growth until they are able to work in these areas more independently. The authors of the Leadership Challenge, James M. Coase and Barry Z. Ponsner, offer insights on leadership that pertain to the subject of mentoring. Leaders are pioneers. They are people who venture into unexplored territory. They guide us to new and often unfamiliar destinations. The unique reason for having leaders, their differentiating function, is to move us forward. Leaders get us going someplace. Mentors impact eternity because there is no telling where their influence will stop. Leading mentors move the people they are developing into growth and areas of strength. In this chapter and in the next 3, we'll focus on 4 ways of accomplishing the task of mentoring others, enlarging people, helping them navigate through life's problems, connecting with them on a deeper level, and empowering them to reach their potential. Enlarging others is an investment. Author Alan Lloyd McGinnis observed, "There is no more noble occupation in the world than to assist another human being to help someone succeed." Helping others enlarge themselves is one of the most incredible things you can ever do for them. As John says in his book, The Success Journey, growing to reach your potential is one of the 3 components to being successful, along with knowing your purpose and sowing seeds that benefit others. Robert Gross, former president of Lockheed Aircraft Corporation, once explained to his supervisors, "It's one thing to build a product. It's another thing to build a company, because companies are nothing but men, and the things that come out of them are no better than the people themselves. We do not build automobiles, airplanes, refrigerators, radios, or shoestrings. We build men. The men build the product." When you enlarge others, you do several things. Raise their level of living. Dennis Waitley said, "The greatest achievements are those that benefit others." Anytime you help people to enlarge themselves in any area of their lives, you benefit them because you make it possible for them to step up to a new level of living. As people develop their gifts and talents, learn new skills, and broaden their problem solving abilities, their quality of living and level of contentment improve dramatically. No one can grow and remain unaffected in the way he lives his life. When you enlarge others, you seize an opportunity to help them reach their potential. Businessman George Crane claimed that there is no future in any job. Their future lies in the man who holds the job. When you enlarge other people, you brighten their future. When they expand their horizons, improve their attitudes, increase their skills, and learn new ways to think, they perform and live better, and that increases their potential. Increase their capacity for growth. When you help people enlarge themselves, you aren't giving them only a temporary short-term shot in the arm or tools that will help them only today. Enlarging has long-term benefits. It helps them become better equipped, and it increases their capacity to learn and grow. After being enlarged, whenever they receive a resource or opportunity, they are better able to use it to its greatest benefit, and their growth begins to multiply. Increase the potential of your organization. If the people you are working to enlarge are a part of a group, no matter whether it is a business, church, sports team, or club, then the whole group benefits from their growth. For example, if many people in your organization improve themselves even slightly, the quality of your whole organization increases. If a few people improve themselves a lot, the potential for growth and success increases due to the increased leadership of these people. And if both kinds of growth occur as the result of your enlarging, hang on because your organization is about to take off. Fred Smith, a friend of John, is an excellent leader, entrepreneur, and business consultant. Fred had been advising a group of 20 young CEOs and meeting with them monthly for about 3 years when he decided that they needed to spend some time on their own. So he told them he would not be coming back to see him for a while. They continued to get together without him, but eventually they asked him to come back for a visit. When he did, they presented him with a piece of baccarat crystal. On it were etched the words, "He stretched us." Fred has been stretching and enlarging others for decades because he realizes the incredible value added not only to the people being stretched, but also to all the people they influence. Most people are funny. They want to get ahead and succeed, but they are reluctant to change. They are often willing to grow only enough to accommodate their problems. Instead, they need to grow enough to achieve their potential. That's why they need help from you. Authors Helen Schultzman and William Thetford aptly said, every situation probably perceived becomes an opportunity. When you enlarge others, you seize an opportunity to help them reach their potential. French essayist Michael Aquiem de Montaigne wrote, the value of life lies not in the length of days, but in the use we make of them. A man may live long, yet live very little. When you enlarge others, you help them make the most of the time they have and raise their quality of life. Make yourself an enlarger. For many people, just because they want to enlarge others doesn't necessarily mean they are ready for the task. They usually need to do some work on themselves first. As in most instances, if you want to do more for others, you have to become more yourself. That's never more valid than in the area of mentoring. You can teach what you know, but you can reproduce only what you are. Leadership experts Warren Bennis and Bert Nanas spoke to this issue. It is the capacity to develop and improve these skills that distinguishes leaders from their followers. In your preparations to take on the task of helping others enlarge themselves, the first thing you need to do is improve and enlarge yourself, because only when you are growing and enlarging yourself are you able to help others do the same. Just as people will not follow a person whose leadership skills are weaker than their own, they will not learn to grow from someone who isn't growing. Not only must you be on a higher level in your personal growth, but you must continue to grow on an ongoing basis. You can probably remember how little you respected one of your high school teachers or college professors who had obviously stopped learning and growing decades earlier, possibly the day he received his degree. Albert Switzer maintained that the great secret of success is to go through life as a man who never gets used up. When you make it a goal to continually learn and enlarge yourself, you become the kind of person who can never be used up. You're always recharging your batteries and finding better ways to get things done. To determine whether you are still growing, ask yourself what you're still looking forward to. If you can't think of anything or you're looking back instead of ahead, your growth may be at a standstill. It has been said, the greatest obstacle to discovery is not ignorance. It is the illusion of knowledge. Many people lose sight of the importance of personal growth once they finish their formal education. But don't let that happen to you. Make your growth one of your top priorities starting today. There is no time to waste. As Scottish writer and thinker Thomas Carlyle put it, one life, a little gleam of time between two eternities, no second chance for us forevermore. Any day that passes without personal growth is an opportunity lost to improve yourself and to enlarge others. Carefully choose persons to enlarge. Once you've done some growing and you're ready to help others enlarge themselves, you need to start thinking about the people you would choose to work with. You have to be selective. You should try to be a model of integrity to all people, whether they're close to you or total strangers. And you should make it your goal to motivate all of the people you have a relationship with: family members, employees, fellow church volunteers, colleagues, and friends. But you can't take the time to enlarge everybody in your life. It's too involved a process. That's why you need to work first with the most promising people around you, the ones most likely to be receptive to growth. In Killers of the Dream, Lillian Smith wrote, "We in America, a men across the earth, have trapped ourselves with that word equality, which is inapplicable to the genus man. I wish we would forget it, stop its use in our country. Let the communists have it. It isn't fit for men who fling their dreams across the skies. It is fit only for a leveling down of mankind. We certainly desire for all people to have equal access to opportunities and justice. But we know that everyone doesn't respond equally to his environment or advantages. And that's true for the people you will have the opportunity to develop. Some people are eager to be enlarged. Others don't care about personal growth or won't grow under your care. It's your job to figure out which is which. As you think about the people you want to enlarge, keep the following guidelines in mind. Select people whose philosophy of life is similar to yours. The underlying values and priorities of the people you desire to enlarge need to be similar to yours. If you and they don't have the basics in common, you may end up working at cross purposes and you won't experience the effectiveness you would like. Roy Disney. Walt's brother and partner said, "It's not hard to make decisions when you know what your values are. And if you and the people you mentor have similar values, you will be able to make harmonious decisions as you work together." Choose people with potential you genuinely believe in. You can't help people you don't believe in. Give your best mentoring effort to people who have the greatest potential, the ones for whom you can see a promising future, not the ones for whom you feel sorry. Nurture, love, and motivate hurting people, but pour yourself into the people who will grow and make a difference. Select people whose lives you can positively impact. Not everyone you are capable of developing would benefit from what you have to offer. Look for a fit between their potential and your strengths and experiences. Match the men and women to the mountains. We would like all the people we mentor to reach their full potential and develop into stars. After all, the greatest mentors develop people to a level beyond their ability. But the truth is that while all people can move to a higher level than they currently occupy, not everyone is capable of climbing to the highest levels. A successful enlarger evaluates the potential of others and places them in a position to succeed. Start when the time is right. Start the process at the right time in the lives of others. You've probably heard the expression, strike while the iron is hot. It means to act on a situation at the right time. We've heard that the saying goes back to the 14th century. It comes from the practice of blacksmiths who needed to strike metal when it was exactly the right temperature in order to mold it into the precise shape desired. You have to do the same thing with the people you want to enlarge. Start too soon and they don't yet see the need to grow. Start too late and you miss your best opportunity to help them. Once you've found the right people, keep in mind that you need to get their permission before you start enlarging them. People love to be encouraged and motivated, so you don't need their consent to do either one. But the mentoring process really works only when both parties know the agenda, agrees to it, and give it 100% effort. Make it a priority to take them through the enlarging process. Enlarging others can be rewarding and fun, but it also takes time, money, and work. That's why you have to commit yourself to the process and make it a top priority. John's friend Ed Cole says, there is a price to pay to grow. Commitment is the price. Once you've made the commitment, you're ready to grow. The following suggestions will help you maximize the enlarging process. See their potential. Composer Giancarlo Menotti forcefully stated, hell begins on that day when God grants us a clear vision of all that we might have achieved, of all the gifts we wasted, of all that we might have done that we did not do. Unrealized potential is a tragic waste, and as an enlarger, you have the privilege of helping others discover and then develop their potential. But you can't do that until you see their potential. Olympic gold medal swimmer Jeffrey Gabrino sums it up this way. The real contest is always between what you've done and what you're capable of doing. Whenever you look at people you desire to enlarge, try to discern what they are capable of doing. Look for the spark of greatness. Watch and listen with your heart as well as your eyes. Find their enthusiasm. Try to visualize what they would be doing if they overcame personal obstacles, gained confidence, grew in areas of promise, and gave everything they had. That will help you to see their potential. Cast a vision for their future. Former presidential speechwriter Robert Orban argued, always remember there are only two kinds of people in this world, the realists and the dreamers. The realists know where they're going. The dreamers have already been there. To add value to the people you enlarge, travel ahead of them in your mind's eye and see their future before they do. You become able to cast a vision for their future that helps to motivate and enlarge them. Someone once said, don't let yourself be pressured into thinking that your dreams or your talents aren't prudent. They were never meant to be prudent. They were meant to bring joy and fulfillment into your life. That's great advice. People will never succeed beyond their wildest dreams unless they have some pretty wild dreams. When you cast a vision for others, you help them see their potential and their possibilities. And when you add to that vision your faith in them, you spark them to action. The great British statesman Benjamin Disraeli declared, nurture great thoughts, for you will never go higher than your thoughts. Help people have great thoughts about themselves, and they will begin to live like the people they can become. Tap into their passion. As an enlarger of people, you are to help people want to grow. And one way to do that is to tap into their passion. Everybody, even the quietest, least demonstrative person, has a passion for something. You just have to find it. As scientist Willis R. Whitney pointed out, some men have thousands of reasons why they cannot do what they want to, when all they need is one reason why they can. As you look for others' passions, go beyond the surface of their daily wants. Look deep within them. Harold Kushner perceptively wrote, our souls are not hungry for fame, comfort, wealth, or power. Those rewards create almost as many problems as they solve. Our souls are hungry for meaning, for the sense that we have figured out how to live so that our lives matter, so that the world will at least be a little bit different for our having passed through it. Once you discover their passion, tap into it. Show them how it can activate their potential to the point that they will be able to realize their vision for their lives. Passion can help them make their dreams come true. And as U.S. President Woodrow Wilson said, we grow by dreams. All big individuals are dreamers. They see things in the soft haze of a spring day, or in the red fire of a long winter's evening. Some of us let those great dreams die, but others nourish and protect them. Nourish them through bad days until they bring them to the sunshine and light, which comes always to those who sincerely hope that their dreams will come true. Passion is the fuel that helps people nourish and protect their dreams. Address character flaws. As you explore how you can help others enlarge themselves, you need to address any character issues they may have. As we mentioned in Chapter 1, integrity is the foundation upon which everything else must stand in people's lives. No matter how much enlarging you do, if the foundation isn't solid, there's going to be trouble. When examining the character of others, remember to look beyond their reputation. Abraham Lincoln made this distinction. Character is like a tree and reputation like its shadow. The shadow is what we think of it. The tree is the real thing. Take time to really get to know the people you're enlarging. Observe them in various situations. If you get to know people well enough to know how they react in most situations, you'll have an idea of where any character shortcomings might be. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convent and confidence, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy." Your goal should be to help the people you're developing to stand strong in the midst of challenges, but you have to start with the little things. Author and corporate leader Joseph Sugarman observed, "Every time you are honest and conduct yourself with honesty, a success force will drive you toward greater success. Each time you lie, even with a little white lie, there are strong forces pushing you toward failure. Help others learn to conduct themselves with integrity in every situation, and they will be ready to grow and reach their potential. Focus on their strengths. When some people begin to work with others on their development, they often gravitate to weaknesses rather than strengths. Maybe that's because it's so easy to see others' problems and shortcomings. But if you start by putting your energies into correcting people's weaknesses, you will demoralize them and unintentionally sabotage the enlarging process. We recently heard a baseball story that addresses the subject of people's weaknesses. One afternoon in St. Louis, Stan Musial was having a great game against Chicago pitcher Bobo Newsom. Stan first hit a single, then a triple, and then a home run. When Stan came up to bat for the fourth time, Chicago manager Charlie Grimm decided to yank Bobo and take a chance on a rookie relief pitcher. As the young rookie went to the mound from the bullpen and received the ball from Newsom, he asked, "Say, has this guy Musial got any weaknesses?" "Yeah," replied Newsom. He can't hit doubles." Instead of focusing on weaknesses, pay attention to people's strengths. Sharpen skills that already exist. Complement positive qualities. Bring out the gifts inherent in them. Weaknesses can wait unless they are character flaws. Only after you have developed a strong rapport with them and they have begun to grow and gain confidence should you address areas of weakness and then handle them gently, one at a time. Enlarge them one step at a time. Ronald Osborne noted, "Unless you try to do something beyond what you have already mastered, you will never grow." To enlarge others, help them take growth steps that stretch them regularly without overwhelming or discouraging them. For each person, that process will look different. But no matter where people are from or where they are going, they need to grow in certain areas. We suggest that you include the following 4 areas in the development process. 1. Attitude. More than anything else, attitude determines whether people are successful and able to enjoy life. and attitude impacts not only every area of their own lives, but it also influences others. Two, relationships. The world is made up of people, so everybody has to learn to interact effectively with others. The ability to relate to others and communicate with them can affect marriage, parenting, occupation, friendships, and more. If people can get along, they can get ahead in just about any area of life. Three, leadership. Everything rises and falls on leadership. If the people you're developing plan to work with others, they have to learn to lead them. If they don't, they'll be carrying the whole load themselves in everything they do. Four, personal, personal and professional skills. You may be surprised to see that we're listing this last, but the truth is that if thinking isn't positive and skills at working with people are missing, all the professional skills in the world are of little benefit. As you help people grow, work from the inside out. It's not what happens to people that makes a difference, it's what happens in them. Put resources in their hands to help people grow, no matter what area you're addressing. Put resources in their hands. Whenever either one of us meets with someone we're developing, we always try to take something with us to give to them. Books, tapes, magazines, articles, anything uplifting or instructive that we can get our hands on. Nothing gives us greater joy than to know that we've helped someone take another step in growth. That's one reason both of us are constantly creating resources for people's growth. If you can't find exactly what you're looking for to help people, you may want to give from your experience. The next time you're ready to meet with people whom you want to enlarge, take an active hand in the process. Clip articles written on one of their areas of interest. Give them copies of a book that impacted your life. Or put into their hands tapes that will teach and inspire them. If you keep doing that, not only will the people you develop love the time they spent with you, but each time you meet, you'll see that they've grown just a little more toward their potential. Expose them to enlarging experiences. Implementing a plan for growth enlarges people, but sometimes they need something more to give them a fresh burst of energy and inspiration. Author and champion for the blind Helen Keller said, "One can never consent to creep when one feels an impulse to soar." When you expose people to enlarge experiences, you plant within them that desire to soar. Conferences and seminars, meeting with outstanding men and women, and special events have made a tremendous impact on us. They always take us out of our comfort zone, move us to think beyond ourselves, or challenge us to go to new levels of living. But remember that events and meetings don't make people grow. They inspire people to make important decisions that can change the direction of their lives. The growth itself comes from what people do daily after they have made a decision. Teach them to be self enlargers. According to Philip B. Crosby, there is a theory of human behavior that says people subconsciously retard their own intellectual growth. They come to rely on cliches and habits. Once they reach the age of their own personal comfort with the world, they stop learning and their mind runs on idle for the rest of their days. They may process organizationally, they may be ambitious and eager, and they may even work night and day, but they learn no more. Once you've gotten people to value growth enough to start enlarging themselves, you've broken through a strong barrier. But the next step is to get them to keep growing on their own. It has been said that the goal of all teachers should be to equip students to get along without them. The same can be said of people who seek to enlarge others. As you work with others and help them to enlarge themselves, give them what they need so that they learn to take care of themselves. Teach them to find resources. Enlarge them to get out of their comfort zone on their own and point them toward additional people who can help them learn and grow. If you can help them to become lifelong learners, you will have given them an incredible gift. A successful enlarger evaluates the potential of others and places them in a position to succeed. We've heard it said, no one becomes rich unless he enriches others. When you enrich others by helping them grow and enlarge themselves, you not only bring joy to them and yourself, but you also increase your influence and their ability to touch others' lives. At the beginning of this chapter, we told you about how Fernando has enriched the life of Jim and Nancy's son, Eric. But there is more to the story. Since Eric played in that powerful soccer tournament, he has really changed. He has become more assertive, and he is pursuing his goals with more enthusiasm. For example, Eric has now decided that he wants to try to play tennis, so Fernando has started working with him to get him ready. As I mentioned earlier, Eric has begun weight training, but he has also taken another step to help make tennis possible, a step that at first scared Nancy and me. Since his stroke, Eric's right hand is extremely limited in what it can do, so he really has full use of only his left hand. But to play tennis, he would have to use his good left hand to hold the racket. What was Fernando's solution? He waited until Nancy and I were out of town and switched Eric's wheelchair controls over to his bad hand. We didn't think it was possible, but it was. Eric now drives right-handed, and as soon as he is ready, he is going to take up tennis. Eric also does other things that simply astounds us. For example, he works in the office and he puts himself into bed at night. But that's nothing compared to some of his goals. Someday Eric wants to be able to drive a car. Fernando's mentoring and coaching of Eric have been fantastic. We always wanted the best for Eric. but we discovered that we were overly protective. The whole process has enlarged us and broadened our horizon. And of course, it's incredible to see Eric grow and change as he has. But he, Nancy, and I are not alone in that. Even the enlarger has become enlarged. Fernando is changing and growing too. He has always been the consummate professional, but we're now seeing a softer, more loving side that was previously hidden. And recently he told Nancy, I'm learning that I have to really give to have joy in my life. What 19th century American philosopher, poet Ralph Waldo Emerson said is true. It is one of the most beautiful compensations of this life that no man can sincerely try to help another without helping himself. If you give yourself to enlarging others and assisting them in reaching their potential, the rewards you reap will be almost as great as the ones of the people you help. Influence checklist. Enlarging people. 1. Whom will you enlarge? Write down the names of the top 3 candidates for you to enlarge. Remember to pick people whose philosophy of life is similar to yours, whose potential you believe in, whose lives you can positively impact, and who are ready for the process. Second, enlargement agenda. Use the following grid to develop your strategy for enlarging the 3 persons you selected. Over the top grid is person 1, person 2, person 3, from left to right. Then alongside, you put name, person 1, person 2, person 3. Potential, person 1, person 2, person 3. Passion, person 1, person 2, person 3. Character issues, person 1, person 2, person 3. Greatest strength, person 1, person 2, person 3. Next step in development, person 1, person 2, person 3. Resource for current need, person 1, person 2, person 3. Next enlarging experience, person 1, person 2, person 3. Becoming a person of influence. John C. Maxwell, Jim Dornan. Turnpike Plaza, 365, Rec Squad.